Hello everyone, this is Michael Voss of MV Consulting Incorporated, and I'm happy to be with you again. Today I wanted to take a moment and speak about the Arizona immigration law, in particular its connection to the visit from the Mexican President Obama, and Los Angeles. Now, you may have heard the connection of all these three different things. In terms of the presidents, the Mexican president and President Obama met today. And the key topic of discussion in this meeting was not the drug traffic from Mexico into America. It was not the economic situations that both Mexico and America find themselves in. In fact, the number one priority of both nations, Mexico and America, was the immigration law in Arizona. Now, let's think about that for a moment. That's the number one issue on their minds. The nation, America, is faced with 9.9% unemployment. We have been promised that the focus of the Obama administration would be on jobs and the economy. And yet, for weeks now, we've heard nothing but information about the Arizona law. In particular, for over 15 days, Janet Napolitano, Eric Holder, Michael Posner, and P.J. Crowley, all members of the Obama administration, have actively stated that the Arizona law is unconstitutional and may lead to racial profiling. Of those individuals, none, except for perhaps Michael Posner, have read the entire, or even in part, the Arizona state law, all 10 pages. Not one in 15 days has read a 10-page law, yet they can determine, just from news media coverage, that the law is unconstitutional and will create racial profiling, which is an amazing fact. I can't imagine what they would do with the 6 pages of the United States Constitution. Have they read that? Are they sure they're getting the right media coverage on it? Separate of that, let's move on. The President of Mexico, Calderon, believes that the law in Arizona is unfair, and he is advising Mexicans not to go to Arizona. The last I checked, the last I was aware of, the Mexicans entering into Arizona, by and large, aren't going because they're on vacation. They're not going because they think this would be a nice trip. They're entering the nation illegally. Therefore, the message from President Calderon is a bit misplaced. In fact, it's bloody well useless. In fact, Mexico benefits from illegal aliens in America. They gain, because of the illegal aliens, and let me stop again, they are illegal aliens. They have broken United States federal law by entering this nation without a green card or authorization. Therefore, they are fugitives of the law as well as criminals. That's a fact. So, as I was saying, these individuals are in the nation, and any funds that they can generate, in part, are being sent back to Mexico to help support their families. The American dollar is far greater valued than the Mexican peso. This means that Mexico's economy is getting a boost. They are getting improved. Their unemployment levels go down because tens of millions of Mexicans aren't in Mexico. It would be the same thing as the millions of people who are in unemployment in America suddenly no longer being here. Our unemployment level would drop drastically. So it actually benefits Mexico for illegal aliens to be in America. It may well be one of the reasons why in the last 40 years of my life, Mexico has never stopped illegal aliens from entering America. President Obama, for some reason, agrees with the Mexican president's position on the Arizona law. He believes that the Arizona law is also unconstitutional, potentially, and potentially leading to racial profiling. It is unclear yet, because no one has asked, if President Obama has actually read the law himself. No one else in his administration seems to have done so to this point. Why would President Obama agree with the Mexican president on an issue that is detrimental to America? The only answer I can come up with is, well, the more Hispanics in America, if he can pass immigration reform, well, that leads to more people beholden to the Democratic Party as we enter the midterm elections and, of course, the 2012 elections, and that would be a benefit to his political party and his political strength. Neither of these are reasons that are a benefit to the United States public. But speaking of the public, there's Los Angeles. The city has decided that the Arizona immigration law, SB 1070, is offensive, that it is a horrible act against the rights of the illegal aliens, the criminals in the United States entering into Arizona. And as such, the City Council of LA voted 13-1 to boycott Arizona, to end over $58 million worth of contracts with Arizona. Arizona has responded, in part, unofficially, via Gary Pierce, who's in charge of the Arizona Business Committee. I had that wrong, but it's one of the Arizona committees. And what he has stated is, go ahead, let's have a boycott. If LA would like to boycott Arizona, they can go for it and end all of their contracts, which would include the power generation that Arizona provides LA. 25% of all the electrical power in LA. And that would mean that LA will go dark. Now, if the city council members in LA are truly abhorrent or against the Arizona law, and if they truly have the support of all the people of LA and are going to make a statement, then no statement is better than the city of LA being dark. If the people of LA truly believe this, if they truly support the LA council members, then Mayor Villagrosa should move forward and end the electrical power contracts with Arizona. They should go dark. If they are not willing to do that, well, there is a statement that is also being made. If they are not willing to stand up and live by candlelight, then they know that this is just a political action, a means by which to go into the midterm elections touting how they are trying to support Hispanics and how the majority Hispanic population should support them in re-electing those that are seeking re-election in the city in November. That is not a worthy reason for doing anything. If a boycott is to be made, to be making a statement, then that boycott should be made to the fullest extent. That statement should be made loud and clear. You did not see Martin Luther King only boycott certain activities. He didn't march on Selma, well, part of the way. He went all the way. You're going to do something, you do it. If you believe something, then you believe it. But if you're just looking for a political advantage, well, you'll compromise. And a compromise on beliefs, principled beliefs, absolute beliefs of human rights and racial profiling and support of individuals that are criminals, well, if you truly believe that, then you go for it. This is what I think. But what do you think? Thank you.